Okay, so let's get right into it. This explainer isn't really about being rich or poor. It's about something else, a quiet struggle, a feeling that, honestly, a lot of us are having right now.
This is for you. If you're someone who played by the rules, you studied hard, you got a stable job, you tried to be responsible, you did everything you were supposed to do. Sound familiar?
And yet, doesn't it just feel like life gets a little bit heavier, a little bit harder every single year? Well, I'm here to tell you this isn't because you're failing. It's because something is quietly changing all around us. So we're going to explore 5 invisible pressures that are slowly but surely wearing down the very idea of the middle class.
All right, let's start with pressure number 1. It's all about the foundation of the middle class dream, stability. But here's the catch. That very stability is turning into a luxury good. And you can see the shift right here. It used to be that stability was the goal, the destination. Now, it's just this state of constant, stressful maintenance. Think about it. The core costs, housing, education, healthcare, they're rising way, way faster than our salaries. And that forces us to take on more and more risk just to stay afloat. And this is how it actually feels in real life. It's not some sudden collapse, right? It's a slow squeeze. We take on longer and longer loans for our cars and our homes. We're putting less and less away into savings. Our margin for error, that little bit of cushion, it shrinks to almost nothing. On paper, everything might look fine, but in reality, the whole system is so fragile that one unexpected medical bill, one car repair, and the whole thing can just come crashing down.
So that brings us to the second pressure. And this one is a bit more psychological. It's all about the growing gap between what we actually earn and what we feel we should have.
I mean, just think about it for a second. In the past, your world of comparison was pretty small, pretty local. Your neighbors, your coworkers. But today, you are compared to the entire internet. It's just this endless stream of better lifestyles, fancier vacations, shinier gadgets, creating this constant nagging pressure to upgrade every part of your life.
And this is so important. This is why even if your income is going up, it never feels like enough. When your expectations are growing even faster, the result isn't motivation, it's just profound exhaustion. It's an emotional drain that leads directly to burnout.
Now for the third pressure, and honestly, this one's a big one. It's about the fundamental breakdown of the contract that we all thought we had with our employers.
For generations, this was the deal. It was the simple, bedrock promise of middle-class work. You show up, you work hard, you stay loyal to the company, and in return, you get security. You get a predictable path forward.
But that promise, it's breaking. Technology is outpacing our skills, companies are constantly restructuring, and having years of experience no longer guarantees you any kind of protection. And what that creates is this quiet, persistent fear, which forces us to accept more pressure and fewer boundaries. Work stops being a place of growth, and it turns into a matter of survival.
Okay, our final 2 pressures are a 1-2 punch. They're deeply connected, the debt trap and the busyness trap that it creates. Let's look at how the normalization of debt leads to a life with absolutely no time left to think.
There's been this massive cultural shift around debt. It used to be seen as a risk, right? Something to be avoided if you could. But now, taking on huge, long-term loans for a house, a car, and education, it's framed as a sign of maturity. We're told it's the responsible step. But when debt becomes a permanent part of your life, your decisions are no longer about opportunity. They're all about obligation.
And this slide, wow, it just lays it all out perfectly. Look at how a typical day gets carved up. Between work, commuting, and just managing all those obligations and payments, where's the time to just think? That tiny little sliver at the end, that's it. And that's the reason so many people stay in draining situations. Stopping to reflect actually feels way riskier than just keeping your head down and pushing through. So, what do we do with all this? The real power of these 5 pressures is that they aren't dramatic. They're not loud. They're quiet. They feel normal. And that right there, that really gets to the heart of it. This isn't some sudden event. It's a slow, gradual erosion. It's a stretching. You don't really notice it day to day, but over the years, the tension just builds and builds until you feel like you're about to snap.
And that's the really unsettling thought to leave you with. The most dangerous problems aren't the big, dramatic crises. They're the ones we've slowly come to accept as normal.